Love Squad, is that you? What's good? Let's get into it. This is Fargo Season 4, Episode 5, recap and analysis of the birthplace of civilization. Spoiler alert. You've been alerted. If you didn't watch, like this video, add it to your like list, and come back. First, let's start with people as usual. So we have Lemuel Cannon's oldest. We have Justo Fada, the oldest Fada, aka the strategist. He's a strategist in this episode. We have Lemuel's bodyguard, who, I forgot to get his name, but that cat. We have my favorite rabbi, aka Earth Angel, Ethelrita, aka she stay nosy, Swanee, aka she stay hungry, Mrs. Cannon, Mama Bear, Zero, the baby father, and rip to Dr. Senator, okay, rip, he leaves us this episode. Okay, now let's get into this recap in this context. So in the last episode, we saw Justified make arrangements with the cops to have some arrests made in Cannon's camp, right? He understands racial politics and uses them to his advantage. This episode opens with a nice jazz club scene full of law-abiding citizens enjoying their evening before it's raided. Lemuel, Lloyd's oldest, and his bodyguard are picked up after being beaten a bit by the cops. Not cool, but this is America. Justo and his crew are off to the side, making sure the job gets done. It's business as usual for them, and I feel a way about this. But it's business, and they are the competition. Ugh, such a problem though. Lloyd gives Justo's guns to another crew of gangsters in exchange for loyalty and reinforcement should he need it, and he gonna need it. And we find out Lloyd's decided to take the funeral home as payment for Thurman's involvement in returning the stolen puke money. I'm also not happy about this. I mean, darn it, they work so hard for their business to get it mixed up with gangsters. That's the cost of alternative banking though, it is what it is. Uh-oh. The police come and raid Lloyd's shop. What? I thought they was just going to stop at the club, but no, they came to the shop. Otis and Lloyd exchange words, and we find out why Otis has OCD. Apparently, it's a form of PTSD brought on by his time in the military. They arrest all Lloyd's men and take the puke money. Shady. They pocket it for themselves. Oh, and Otis is being surveilled by the U.S. Marshal, who knows some shady S is going on. Because he's the straightest arrow in the bunch, he's probably going to blow up everybody's business later on this season. Let's wait and see what happens with that. And then Ethelrita is sitting at her desk. As she stays sitting at her desk. She stays nosy and she stays sitting at her desk. Writing a letter to Dr. Harvard about Orietta's illegal medicine cabinet. Now, she came across this snooping, okay, and got the nerve to be snitching. Not saying she's wrong, but it's interesting. And we already know Harvard is a racist, so there's that. Is he going to believe her? There's that. I don't know how this is going to be received. Orietta will literally kill Ethelrita and her whole family, and they are already in enough trouble as it is. Facts. And they own a funeral home, so, well, they used to. It'll be real easy to hide them bodies if she needs to. Can you imagine that woman having access to a funeral home? Consequences. Dreadful consequences, okay? Rabbi is preparing baby Cannon for Lloyd because he's been there and done that, and he already knows what's gonna happen. And y'all already know he's my favorite character. I love him. So he's getting ready for a lot of things in this episode. He's getting ready for war. He's telling baby Cannon we gonna bounce as soon as they start fighting. He's already knowing because he done already been through this. Now, Thurman told Orietta where her aunt was staying, right? Thurman, he just lets his daughter just walk all over him. He also told her not to go down there, which we already knew she was gonna do anyways because she don't listen and she nosy. Cut to that nasty A Prairie Hotel, okay? Where's the bleach? Where's the bleach? It's Eltha Rita's 17th birthday. She thinks she's grown. Heaven help her with that. You're not grown till you're 35, by the way, just so you know. 35, okay? 35. And they drink to her swirl around the sun, as Zarma puts it. We also learn the difference between criminals and outlaws. So criminals are disguised as law-abiding citizens, a part of the system. Outlaws rejected. Interesting. I'd rather be a digital nomad, but that's just me, okay? I'd rather be that kind of outlaw. Then Mrs. Cannon gives Loy the business for endangering her sons. Men are always so casual compared to women when it comes to these things. Loy acts like it's not a big deal that one of their sons is in jail and the baby one is in the lion's den. He has it handled, he says. Bruh, get out of her way. Get out of her way. Loy, though, he proceeds to clock her and her mama for benefiting from how he handles his business. Truth. Fair enough. I mean, this episode is full of perspective. Criminals are criminals, but they have their perspective on why their dealings are in fact the right way to do things. The writers did a good job with this episode. Now, he disrespected her when he gave her the business back and sent her back to get some coffee. I mean, feel how you feel. That's your bed. You made it, lie in it. Stay in school, girls, and don't marry gangsters, okay? Don't do that. Wait. And then we cut to Loy's crew and eldest in jail. So they in the jail, right? Contemplating their fates, and all of a sudden the cops start locking up the wing they're in. What? I'm like, this does not look good. You know some S is about to go down and somebody's probably about to die. It sure didn't look like they was about to kill all of them. These are actually the father's men, and you know, they racist, so they be happy to do anything to them to harm them. But then father's squad enter and we realize they're getting ready to talk shop. So Justa goes on to say that America roots for the bad guy unless they happen to look like Loy's men. Fact. Okay, aka it's cool to be bad unless you're black. Fact. He says when they see him, they see a guy that's just trying to get ahead. He can do whatever he wants and still run for president. Fact. He tells them to inform Loy it's time to surrender. Okay. Side commentary. Everybody on this show is going to get cancer because they smoke too damn much. And Otis drinks really strong coffee. Did y'all see that? He put about 6 tablespoons of coffee in his kettle. Damn, like I had never... Man, you got OCD and you smoking coffee. I mean, you smoking coffee. He might as well be smoking that coffee. You drinking all that coffee and then you smoking them cigarettes. Like your energy is way out of whack, bruh. Pick a substance, bruh. It's too much. My system is overwhelmed. So cut to opera music, right? In the background. And we see Gentano and his right-hand man, Calamita, gallivanting across the street. They head into what feels like an anti-Italian bar. Gentano has coffee. Side commentary. If you've ever had coffee in almost any other country outside of America, then you know that American coffee is trash. It's basura, okay? And Italian coffee is some of the best coffee on planet Earth. Fact. So... you know, he has this coffee and it offends him. And rightfully so, it should offend him. American coffee is offensive. And y'all know he's crazy, so it doesn't actually take much. And he's already in his feelings because he wants to be the boss. And, you know, they plotting and planning, trying to make their move. Gentano said, the American Jesus looks like a lady. Jesus, you're loved. But interesting commentary. Don't listen to him, though. Don't listen to him. Then Giancarlo proceeds to shoot up the barman and his son. They were disrespectful, and he was mad. So, karma comes into play. Bang, bang, shoot him up. Lloyd and Zero finally land on Thurman's doorstep after having a rough night. Lloyd has had a night, honey, okay? And we know he knows, but Thurman doesn't. I feel for Darryl. She's still mad and is mad when the doorbell rings. She assures Lori that they can fix whatever it is. She doesn't know the magnitude of what has happened, though. Lori informs him, or informs them that, they paid him back with his own money. Yup. Fact. He explains the situation with Zero for dramatic effect to let them know he will do whatever it takes to win. In other words, don't F with him, don't F with his money. I got money. Ooh, right? And Darryl is mad because she has to cut that beautiful chocolate cake she just decorated and give a piece to Zero. Lloyd is so shameful towards women. He be putting people in their place, but he really be backhanding women. Without even touching them, he be backhanding their emotions. They're informed that the funeral home is now his, and they'll sign over the deed that afternoon. I mean, it's just super upsetting. Like, can you imagine? You didn't work to build a business your whole life, and it's gone in one day. One day. So Debbie takes a trip to Ethelrita's racist school to try to get her to snitch on her auntie. Ethelrita's not a snitch. She's just real nosy. This mother effer has the audacity to threaten her with expulsion. A straight A student, but she's black and this could happen, okay? It could. And if she doesn't snitch, those are the consequences. He's tired. He says he wants to get back to his family. He's been away from his family. And I'm just mad. I'm just mad because, like I said, this is realistic. I have a true story that I'm not going to get into because in this video would be mad long. But this could happen in real life and has happened in real life. People using their power against kids in these ways, against black kids in these ways. And Ethelrita gets her karma. Being nosy, she shouldn't have known where her auntie was. Now Lloyd and the U.S. Marshal is looking for them. This is about to get real interesting. So, she snitches, because what's she gonna do? Lloyd gets to them first, shotgun at the ready. He needs it because Delmar and Triswani are tricky, honey. Tricky, tricky, tricky. I hope they get away. I really do, because they are my favorite criminals in this whole situation with their crazy selves. But Lloyd is so smart. Instead of killing them, he recruits them, and he better hurry up because Duffy's just downstairs and he's already called for reinforcements. Duffy is real close and Zamar says, "We don't like bosses." Lord replies, "You like bullets?" Yes. Once again, put women in a place. And Duffy dismisses them as they're forced into the back of Candace's car and off in the dust again. Zoom. So they get away, y'all. They get away just in the nick of time. So then we cut to our favorite diner. The waitress looks distressed, and we realize why when Giancarlo and Calamita are the only two patrons upon Dr. Senator's arrival. He inquires about the consigliere. I love that word. I can't say it right, but the consigliere. he looks like, it looks like they're about to make their move, and most likely, mess up everything because that's what they do. They stay messing stuff up, Trying and actually succeeding are not the same thing. They're just not. They're not. And that's been their issue this whole season. They keep trying, but they keep effing stuff up. It is what it is. So, whatever happened to the half-dead zombie from the last episode? We had that whole bit with this creepy creepster. We ain't seen no peep, hair, nor hide of him. Side note. So then anyways, Calamita informs, this is the most we've heard him speak this entire season, by the way, Dr. Senator, that negotiations are over. Okay. It feels like they're about to officially start the war. And the anxiety in this scene is a lot. that the senator takes his time reacting, orders a cup of coffee, recants the words of Machiavelli, and tells them that respect is earned. This is the problem, though. They think they're just going to take stuff people have spent years building. They can try, but it don't look good. It don't look good. He gets up, walks away, but we know who we're dealing with. Wolves. The wolves exit the diner behind him. He hears them. Calamita shoots, and that's that. Rest in peace, Dr. Senator. Lloyd is devastated, standing over his dead body. They have to leave him lying dead in the street. There's no time to treat him honorably because the cops are coming. And that's sad. That's sad. I mean, this episode was a lot, as have been the other episodes. I didn't see that coming, but it came. We knew that, shots was going to be fired and the war was going to start. So it's on and popping. Let's get into these concepts. First of all, we have gangsters using politics. Fathers using American politics against the cannons, right? We see that. Cringy, but hey, it's a tactic and it's a tool. We see being smart but not wise. Ethel Rita, Miss Smarty Pants, nosy, okay? Getting her aunt in trouble, getting herself in trouble. Kids having to pay for their parents' messiness. This is why I vowed to have my S together before having kids, okay? I mean, to each their own, but nah. I was determined to wait to have kids because this is unacceptable. I feel for the babies in this series. You grown, you do what you want to do, but kids shouldn't have to suffer because of that. It's unfair. I mean, we see Ethel Rita suffering. We see the boy suffering, Zero and Lloyd's baby. Like, it's just a lot going on. Rabbi went through a lot. It's just a lot, all because of messy adults. Okay. Also, you know what? I mean, we were talking about in the episode, they talked about like just the criminal perspective and what's actually right and what's actually wrong. So I have righteous doesn't mean right. And Rabbi, I love him so much because of this. What's right or wrong is situational. Really, at the end of the day, y'all, it is. We want things to be black or white, but most of the times they're actually gray. And I like gray because it's honest. It's honest. Then we have consequences. We see consequences with Ethel Rita, Lloyd's consequences, Thurman's consequences. Like, it's just a lot going on in terms of that as well. Favorite scene. When Lloyd tells Mrs. Cannon, we on the ride now and we can't get off until the roller coaster stops. Cause, effect, all day. What you causing and how is it affecting? Namyo Horenge Kel. That's what that's about, okay? Jusso dropped a gem. He's like, you know why America loves the crime story? Because America is a crime story. Clap, clack, mic, drop, okay? Did y'all ever hear or listen to A People's History? This is such a great book. History is so fascinating. It is so not boring. It's not. I'm going to link this book below. You need to learn your history. And this book tells it in such a way that you would think you were watching a series instead of reading an account of real life. It's so good and so dreadful. Once again, it's called A People's History. So you guys, that's it. That's all, folks. Thank you so much. I'm Kim B, aka @GlamPowered. Thanks again for listening and watching. Please remember to comment, hit that like button, and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.